I'm Dr. Fiona Lovely, and this is the Not Your Mother's Menopause podcast. I'm taking the taboos of menopause and peri-menopause and bringing light to the dark. No bullshit, no shame. It's time for us to gain a new paradigm in female health, out with the old and in with the new, and I'm bringing fresh perspectives from someone in the arena. I've been practicing women's health for nearly 20 years, and I'm spilling the tea on what it means to live at midlife, knowing that the best is yet to come. I'm sharing my Gen X approach to living through this transition. Sassy, a bit sweary, and always honest. Tactical tips and instantly usable information is my aim. I hope to make you laugh and that you learn something new that helps you embrace the change. Together, we bring power to the peri. Onward to the podcast. You're tuned in to the Not Your Mother's Menopause podcast, and I'm Dr. Fiona Lovely, and I'm welcoming back a guest that was on the show last year that you guys absolutely loved. And I was just as eager today to listen to what wisdom she had to say, to share, and to pick her brain about what we can do about this menopause skin situation on our face and body. I am, of course, talking about Debbi Barber, who is an enthusiast of peptides, specifically copper peptides for skincare. And she is, of course, the founder of Vitalize Skincare. And she's here to talk to us about how we can age well without looking like we're aging, for a lack of a better way to say it. And I feel like Debbi's like an old friend. Like, I feel like she and I can sit and have a tea and talk about skincare all day long. I hope this conversation is as interesting for you as it was for me to have with Debbi yet again. I asked her to share why peptides and why they're so good for skincare and what exactly they do and what it is that happens to our skin at menopause, how exhaustion of our mitochondria and stem cells come to play a role here for basically how we look as we get older. I'm just as vain as the next guy, so I want to know all the details. Now, recently, Vitaly developed a brand new product using exosomes and zero-age cells. Now, this is pretty interesting stuff, but basically they are signaling molecules. They are not human-derived, so in case you heard that word and that's what you thought, they are not. And I explain this, Debbi and I talk about this in the conversation, and I share what I learned about the research on this, about these zero-age cells and where they work, how they work, why they work so well, and basically all the things you would want to know about exosomes. Now, my own personal experience with the Vita product from Vitaly, which is the exosomes product that she and I talk about in this conversation, is nothing short of extraordinary. Like, I noticed the change in my skin texture very quickly within a few applications of it. And then I really, really noticed in laxity of skin underneath my chin. I'm kind of embarrassed to mention it now because I'm like, oh God, now people are going to be watching. But I'm like everybody else that's taken a selfie at a funky angle and you all of a sudden you realize you have the waddle. Anyways, so Debbi and I talk about the waddle and what the exosomes have done for the tautness of my skin, for the texture of my skin, etc. And it's so exciting to have access to these beautiful science-based products that are clean, that are loaded with things that our bodies already have naturally, inherently in them, and to be able to know they're coming from a great source. And as you guys know, I love working with companies that have big hearts, and Vitaly is absolutely the epitome of that. So what's fun is I start off asking Debbi about her recent birthday. She had a milestone birthday. And if you see the videos of this, you'll be amazed at the details around that. And she talks about her own journey using the copper peptides for healing and recovering from surgery last fall. And then we get into talking about what happens to a woman's skin at menopause, what happens to our cells and our stem cells at menopause, and how the exosome products can make a world of difference for a woman who is noticing that her skin isn't what it used to be. And we have options, which is really cool. We also talk about vitamin C. We talk about glutathione. We talk about ceramides. We talk about, again, copper peptides, lots and lots about copper peptides, which definitely my favorite skincare product of 2025 and early 2026 until these beautiful exosomes arrived on the scene. So I am a huge fan. I use them myself. Happy if we know each other, IRL, as the kids say. Ask me about it, because I'm happy to tell you what my experience is with the Vita product from Vita, as well as their 3% copper serum. Beautiful, beautiful products. Anyways, let me do a proper introduction of my extraordinary guest. Debbi Barber is a very successful entrepreneur and co-founder of the innovative Vita regenerative skincare company. After 37 years as the head of a direct marketing firm serving global nonprofit brands, Debbi embraced the opportunity to come out of retirement and create a product that she believed would benefit so many. Her inspiration to develop this product stemmed from her own experiences with peptides and their remarkable effects on her health and skin. Dr. Suzanne Free, one of the leading authorities in the field of peptide research, was Debbi's mentor and teacher, including and introducing her to GHK-Cu, or copper peptides, as an effective way to treat crepey skin. Through extensive research and study, Debbi has become recognized as an expert in peptides and the optimization of health and skin. She now serves as a resource in her weekly blog posts, which are greatly appreciated by skincare enthusiasts and professionals worldwide, including me. Debbi, I love your blog posts and your emails. They're fantastic. So any links we talk about in the show will be in the show notes, and I hope you get as much out of this conversation as I did, and I hope you love the Exosomes product as much as I do. It's a fantastic, fantastic product from Vita Skincare. Without further ado, here's my episode, my conversation, my interview with Debbi Barber. Menopause skin. Nobody's favorite part of the transition at midlife we call peri-menopause and menopause. If you're noticing fine lines, wrinkles, or sagging skin, maybe more texture during your menopause, I have some really exciting news for you. Menopause can deplete your skin's collagen, speeding up the aging. But here's the news. Vita Skincare has built its entire line on the power of GHK-Cu copper peptides, a proven ingredient that signals your skin's stem cells to produce new and healthy collagen. My personal favorite, Vitali's Restorative Skin Cell Serum. I love how it rejuvenates and restores my skin from within, revealing a firmer, more radiant glow. Want to experience this transformation for yourself? Head to vitaliskincare.com and use the code LOVELY at checkout for 20% off. That's vitaliskincare.com, VITALI skin, SKINCARE.com, code LOVELY. Because with Vitali, youthful, vibrant skin is just a step away at any age. Let's talk about something incredibly important, your heart health. You probably already know the stark statistic. Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in the United States. Now, it's widely understood that men develop heart disease earlier in life than women, But what you might not know is that this difference starts to change as women age. By the age of 65, women begin to develop heart disease at the same rate as men. Why does this happen? Well, the sources tell us that declining estrogen levels play a significant role. Estrogen has a profound impact on our cardiovascular system. It actively improves our cholesterol levels, keeps inflammation down, increases crucial blood flow around the body, and even helps to reduce damaging free radicals. Think of estrogen as a vital protector for your heart. It's important for our heart health, too, to take minerals. Certain minerals, such as magnesium and boron, are highlighted as being essential nutrients that our hearts and bodies need to function at their peak performance. When your mineral levels drop, it can lead to a decline in both your estrogen levels and your overall heart health. This is why I'm so enthusiastic about my partnership with Beam Minerals. They have formulated a fantastic way to make getting your daily electrolytes and essential minerals absolutely effortless. Forget about cumbersome pills or messy powders. Beam Minerals offers a simple solution. Just a small shot each day provides your body with the natural, plant-based support it needs. Ready to take proactive steps for your heart health and overall well-being? Head on over to beamminerals.com and don't forget to use my special code LOVELY to receive a fantastic 20% off your first order of Beam Minerals. That's LOVELY. Thanks, Beam. You're tuned in to the Not Your Mother's Menopause podcast. I'm Dr. Fiona Lovely, and I've got an old friend joining me today to have another delightful and juicy conversation about skin. Debbi Barber of Vita Skincare, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's so good to be back.
Well, I should say welcome back to the show. Our last conversation was in the top 3 most downloaded episodes of the year. Did I tell you that?
You did not even tell me that. I was super excited.
Yeah.
That is great. I love that.
Well, and it was really one of the very first times I talked about skincare and what happens to our skin as we age on the show. And I'm deeply invested and interested in this conversation. And that usually means that there's going to be lots of people in my community that will listen to, but even that one surprised me. So I'm so excited to have you back today to carry on our conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I have many questions for you today, Debbi. But the first one is a little bit indelicate. Please forgive me. Now, I have been reading your emails lately, and I know you happen to just have a milestone birthday.
Oh.
Would you tell us about that?
Yes, this month I turned 70.
Wow. Good for you.
I know. It's like one of those things, you think about 40 being the big, 40, the big 40, and then you turn around and 70 is there. And I guess I find that inside I feel the same. My body is struggling. I had a spine surgery in November.
Wow.
A big surgery.
Yes.
And I think, I will talk about this, I hope, because I had products that helped me, because of the knowledge I had of peptides and other things. It really helped strengthen me through this, healing, which is a year to 18 months, actually. So I am just in 5 months of healing. But yeah, I turned 70 and life is good.
I love it. Well, I know you're not supposed to say these kinds of things about women, but you look at least 10 years younger than that. So what in heaven's name is in your spirit, in your soul, and in your skincare that is getting you to this place?
Well, I have been using, as you know, the copper peptides for the last 5 years, and that really has helped me with the crepiness and the fine lines, and really gave me confidence. I think part of it is when you see something working, it gives you confidence. And I think the other thing in my spirit, I am very optimistic. I every day I have this wonderful quiet time in the morning that helps me deal with all the things. And it's a lot running a business at 70. I mean, I'm retired and took care of grandkids for a while. And then because I became so passionate about what I saw them doing for me, I wanted to share them. And that's why I'm doing this now at 70. I thought I was going to do this for a couple of years, and here we are, moving toward our 6th year. And I think that's part of what keeps you younger at an older age, when you have a purpose like that and you have something, you get up and you want to share it. And then I talk to so many wonderful customers sharing their experience, asking their questions. So it's a whole new life for me. And it's just very gratifying.
I love this. So just this morning, I was teaching a group of women who are learning to become menopause coaches, what I call menopause doulas, with me and my methodology. I know, it's so fun. And we were teaching on spirit and longevity this morning. And Debbi, what I shared with them was, we feel like at a point in our lives, usually around perimenopause, menopause, we lose a purpose. We lose the attachment to reproduction and vitality. And of course, in our Western culture, youth is valued above essentially everything else. Now, what I showed them was, I gave them many examples of different cultures that have different, the wise women are the most revered members of the community in the room. And you've just demonstrated this to me in this conversation by saying, I did the thing, I retired, and then I took care of my grandkids for a bit, and then I got really passionate and purposeful. I'm so glad you did.
Me too. It was not a plan. This was not, when I'm 64, I'm going to start a new business and launch a skincare brand. And, it wasn't, but it's wonderful. It's a gift. It's gift.
What happened. I've just realized that quite accidentally, I put on the exact color of your copper peptides today.
I noticed that, and I love it. I love it.
I swear that was not planned. I just wanted to have a spring light color on today for the equinox. That was my plan. So I bring, and you too, you are in gorgeous shade. Are you wearing salmon pink today? I love it.
It is. It's one of my colors. I'm a warm spring color, and I decided for today, I said, this feels like a lovely.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Okay. Let's talk. You've mentioned the word peptides a bunch of times. Let's tell the people about peptides, please.
Peptides. We'll start with, I will talk with copper peptides, naturally occurring. Well, peptides are naturally occurring. And of course, when you're young, they're just flowing, just like everything is working. But then as you age, they decrease. And so what the goal of that I try to do with our skincare and what Peptides True is, really try to top you off. It's not like trying to make you 20 again, but trying to bring back more of what you had. And so copper peptides, 3 little mini peptides, bioregulator peptides, meaning they actually go up and down and regulate, they work in your DNA, they work in your genes, down and up and down, regulating, let me say this the right way, correcting it for better health. And so for your skin, one of the things that copper peptides do, many things, but they are responsible for collagen and elastin, which is so important for your skin. Also, they're great antioxidants, great for helping structure your skin. So if you have wounds, if you have scars, copper peptides are wonderful to help heal and help smooth. And that's one of the things with my spine surgery. I was so fortunate that I had several peptides, but I had copper peptides that the minute the surgeon said, it was okay, I was putting the copper peptides up and down. It's a 6-inch scar, up and down that scar, and then exosomes on top of that. And they said that it was a month ahead of the normal healing. Wow. So it just feels so good. And it's because I was just giving it more of what my body needed, that is naturally occurring. It's not forcing something. And that's what's so beautiful about it. You're not forcing it. So that's why peptides, I use several peptides. There's peptides for immune system, BPC 157. You're probably familiar with that. I actually injected that to help my immune system. I did that a month before the hospital, just to boost my immune system, because I knew I was in for a big one.
I love it. Well, and BPC 157 helps with wound healing as well as tissue
Yes,
healing,
yes,
etc. So not
yes.
just on the outside, but everything that was done on the inside too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and then thymus
Fantastic.
and beta, another one that Dr. Suzanne Faree said that I really needed to, and she actually renewed it and gave me stronger now to just really keep me, boosted and getting this, I'm building bone. I'm actually building bone. So I feel like because of peptides and because of all the things I've learned, I'm having the best situation I could if you have to have spine surgery at 69.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you just let's touch on this real quick. If you're listening and wondering where you can get peptides, as Debbie was talking about, injecting for wound healing, etc., the internal stuff, there are functional medicine doctors and specialists in the United States that will prescribe those for you. If you're in Canada and you're listening, it's a little more difficult. We're not really sure who's supposed to be doing it. Probably your sports med docs are going to be your closest that
Right.
can do that. But what you and I are talking about here today is the topical
Yes.
application of,
Yes. Hope I didn't
yes.
get off on that.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
not at all. I just because I know I'll get questions, Debbie. So, and I just had one yesterday in the office, and as I'm still practicing, I cannot talk about them in the office. I talk about them on the show in generality. So I know that question's going to come up. I just know it will. But let's talk about the ones we can access, which is the topical copper. And you dropped the word of the year as far as I'm concerned, exosomes. What
Exosomes.
in heaven's name are exosomes?
Exosomes are nano-sized bubbles that are released from stem cells. They do not have a nucleus. They do not, they're not alive. But the beautiful thing is they bring the messages from the stem cells that you need for repair, which is like growth factors. They give molecular instructions. So you're getting this wonderful healing property that is from a live source without having to have a stem cell. You're getting the benefits of that for healing and really for boosting your whole system. And I have seen that. And we had 5 years. We've had the copper peptides and other products. But the last couple of years, we were looking at what is our next product, and I wanted a product that would help as we age. And facing 70, and as I studied exosomes, I thought this has to be it because it actually goes in and helps with your exhausted stem cells. And you realize when you start getting duller skin or when things that used to work quit working, you need a boost. And that's what exosomes, zero aged exosomes do. And it's just amazing.
And what does zero age mean? Can you tell us that?
Zero means that they come from stem cells, zero age stem cells, live birth stem cells, donated, C-section, all, wonderful. And then it's just the exosomes are removed and used. They're bottled and used in this product because we have a wonderful chemical engineer working with us who knows how to stabilize and make this product.
Amazing. So, if I can share a little bit about what I learned about exosomes when I was doing my research for this, just exosomes in general, not specific to the product, but this is what I learned because there's a lot of detail flying around out there about stem cells and where they come from and where they're manufactured. Depending on where they're manufactured is going to dictate who's donating these stem cells. And we've actually had a stem cell practitioner come on the show. So there's more. If you want more information on that, please go back and listen to that episode last year. But one of the things that I learned, because I thought, who in heaven's name's DNA am I putting on myself? Okay. And this is what I learned is that the way the exosomes are manufactured, please correct me if I get any of these bits wrong, is that the stem cells arrive in a medium and the exosomes are essentially manufactured in that medium. And then the DNA is filtered out before it's put into
Yes.
any kind of skincare product.
Yes.
So we get the cell signaling that
That's it.
says, yes, okay.
That's it. No, you
Did I get it? Okay.
beautiful. The signal. You get the
Okay. Well, and again, and this was really for me, first of all, before we were to have this conversation, but also what am I about to put on my skin kind of thing. Like,
absolutely.
I-
Absolutely. You
it
should.
just, it was one of those things. And I thought, this is fascinating. And so it's basically the stem cells, the mesenchymal stem cells, as you said, that are ethically sourced, then inform the exosomes, and then the stem cells themselves are filtered out.
Yes.
Yes? Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. All right, so I just want to share a little bit about my own experience with the exosome product, which from Vitali, which is called
Vita.
Vita.
Life.
Okay,
Vita.
Vita. I was about to say Vita. Either way.
Okay. Either way, it works.
Okay, I'm 52 and I've lost a bit of weight over the last 2 years. I'm on a weight loss journey like many, many other people right now. And one of the things that was most frustrating to me was where I used to have three chins and now I just have one, but all of a sudden I had this sort of waddle. And so desperately tried to hide the waddle until your beautiful exosomes arrived. And then the waddle is very much not there anymore. So how
Love
does
it.
this work?
It goes in and it works. It makes your pores finer. It actually gives your skin what it needs. That's what's so beautiful. You are getting the most pristine help. You're getting zero age cells. You're getting the nanobubbles. I want to be careful how I say this, from the most pristine, young, non-stressed out, non-diseased source. And so it's going to work. It really does help you go back in time. Not
I tell you,
me, but it absolutely does.
went from three chins to one. I'm not even sure how that happened.
I love that. I love that. You look great.
Well, thank you very much. And like just the texture of my skin is so much more youthful too, which is interesting. And when I want to qualify that a little bit, when I say youthful, it's just, I don't know, it's just firmer and glowier. And I feel like I'm just talking like some of the TikTok girlies about it now, but that's
I love
literally what's happened. If I hadn't had it happen myself, I'm not sure I would have believed that it could have happened and as fast as it did.
Right. And that's why I love you trying. I like people to try it before they talk about it because it's important that they
Mhm.
really experience it. What I found, and I was in a good place for 5 years of using the copper peptides, and they still work. And if I have a wound, I want my copper peptides. They work fine lines. But to give the boost when you go through the stress, like stress of menopause, let's just talk about that stress of
Please.
menopause, life in this world today, the stress, our stem cells are stressed. And so this actually helps recharge and energize so that what you're doing works. So this makes your copper peptides work better. This makes your vitamin C work better. Like whatever you're using, this gives that signal. You have these, they're not, let's say that the copper peptide is sending that signal to make collagen, but in your cells, they can read it, but they don't have the ability to, act. This exosome goes in and sends that signal for them. They're the workers. The copper peptides and other wonderful peptides and products work. This is the base for all of it to really give the signal to your system. So that's why
Amazing.
it's so fast. That's why. And what I found when I started using it, I've been using them 5-6 months now, is I felt, and I love this thickening, because one of the things as we age, our skin thins. That happens with menopause. That's one of the things, the thinning of the skin and the dry skin. And one of the things I noticed after, like at 6 weeks, I would go, oh my, it was just kind of a bouncy, it felt different. And I know that it was giving my skin what it needed. It was giving my stem cells what they needed.
And it's amazing that for me, when I hear you say that, because I know I've had my own experience with that very same thing, and I thought, this is fascinating. You you don't really recognize so much exactly what it is that's left the building until something's returned it, and then you're like, "Oh, that's what was missing, that sort of thick bounciness to the skin."
That's a great way to say it. You really then you go, "Oh, I remember this.
Yeah,
I remember this feeling
I'll
when."
take this for my 20-year-old skin. The acne can stay back there if that's okay.
Love it.
Okay, you just mentioned that exosomes make your other skincare work better. So talk to me in terms of like when you apply what, like how you rotate your products, please.
And you would use the Vita exosomes first. They're so tiny, 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 tiny little nano size. They need to go in first, and then you apply. Like if you're using our products, you would use the serum. You would put the serum on after you let the exosomes kind of soak in, and they work so well together. One of the things that we did is in this product, because vitamin, people use vitamin C, love vitamin C, but it can be a problem with peptides because the L-ascorbic form of vitamin C is not stable. So you have to perhaps use the copper peptides at night, the vitamin C in the morning, etc. We put in this product two forms of stable vitamin C. So you do not have to buy a vitamin C. You don't have to worry about layering that. That is in the Vita. So the Vita has the vitamin C. It has glucosamine, which is a wonderful antioxidant. It has and then SOD2, which is boost your mitochondria. And I just say that because when we talk about how do we layer all this, I'm saying there's a lot of things you don't need to layer because it's all in this one product.
That's
So
amazing.
you put that first, and then you layer your copper peptide serum, and then you put your moisturizer. You need something to seal. So a moisturizer, if you're using an oil, a squalene oil, or whatever type of oils, you use that on top to help seal that in.
Okay. All right, good. I've been doing it in the right order. Thank goodness. Love that. I and speaking of the creams to seal in, you have a lash serum, an eyebrow serum as well. That's amazing. Can you talk about that? Or cream? That's
It's
amazing.
a
Can you
cream.
talk about that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It has four different it has four different peptides. It is an eye and lash formula, and it is a very one of the things that people say right away because I think there must be a lot of eye products that sting and irritate around the eyes because one of the first things I hear, it didn't sting, it didn't hurt, it was so gentle on my skin. And our products are made to be gentle and work with your skin, not be harsh. But this has four peptides, copper peptides for the fine lines, dipeptide 2, which helps with the puffiness around the eyes. And then it has tripeptide 7, which is for, dark circles. So these peptides, four different peptides work to really make the eye, and I've been really fortunate. I've been using them and I have my eyes are not puffy unless I just don't sleep. And
It
the
happens.
lines, I had crepey, lines, but they really have smoothed out.
Oh, it's amazing how well that cream works. And I usually put that after the copper serum before I put the cream on. Am I doing it the right
Perfect.
way?
That's perfect. That's
Okay.
perfect.
Phew.
Just pat it in. And then it's wonderful to put on your eyebrows uh,
Hmm.
because it enhances eyebrow growth too. So just put a little bit as you're doing that, put it
And there
underneath.
are many of us in my generation, Debbie, that are now going through menopause or just newly in menopause that overplucked our eyebrows in the 90s.
No, no, I know. So it's
I was not one of those people. And I'm going to tell you a funny story. I had friends that were drag queens. And this was back when I was in my early 20s. And they would say to me, "Girl, you have the nicest eyebrows." So I never got neurotic about my eyebrows. I never wanted to pluck them into a phone. I'm so grateful to those drag queens.
great. Be glad. Be glad.
It's
I do
good.
remember that was a thing. Yes.
Oh, yes, it was very much a thing. Anyways, it's fun to think about these things now. But of course, when you have the trauma of plucking those eyebrow hairs, they don't always come back. But I
Right.
love that there's options. And I know our friend Karen Martell has done her own Instagram video where she shows where her eyebrows have grown back in from using the
Right.
lash.
She said she never had to tweeze, and now she does. And that she was so excited about that. But it
Which is
actually gets
amazing.
into the follicle. It enhances the follicle, and
Okay.
just natural type things.
Yes. Well, and you've told me, I do believe when we talked before, that Vitali is a clean skincare brand. Yes.
Yes, it is. We
I
work
love that.
very
That
hard.
matters.
No phthalates, no parabens, no fragrance. That is one of the things that I mean, I love rosemary and different things. And we have a rosemary oil, but no fragrance, just a natural rosemary oil in the body cream, but no added fragrance to any of our products because you don't know what the fragrance, what's in there.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I said, no, we're just going to be clean.
Yes. And that's so important, especially, I do believe we talked about this last time too, that just the regulation around skincare is not very tight. And so,
Well, in the US, fragrance can be so many things can be fragrance, and you don't have to list. In Europe, they're a little bit more strict. They have to tell you what the fragrance is, but here, if it says fragrance, it could be
be anything.
something, be anything, and not such a good thing
Yeah.
necessarily.
Which
So
is terrifying, really,
it
isn't
is.
it?
It really is.
You know how we talk about supporting your body through every phase of life, especially menopause? Well, here's something I've actually been using, and I want to share it with you. MitoPure Longevity Gummies are the first longevity gummies that work at the cellular level, and that matters more than you might think. Here's the thing. As we move through menopause, our cells naturally make less energy. These gummies support that cellular powerhouse with clinically proven urolithin A, targeting a key hallmark of aging, mitochondrial balance. Of course, the mitochondria are those cellular powerhouses. So you can feel strong, clear, and vibrant. These gummies are sugar-free, clean label certified, and honestly, it's so much easier than taking another pill. I actually keep mine on my desk, and when that mid-afternoon slump hits, I take two. It's become my go-to instead of reaching for caffeine or a sugar hit. Longevity doesn't have to feel complicated. It starts with one daily habit. Start 2026 strong with 30% off your first month. Head to timeline.com/lovely30. That's timeline.com/lovely30 because you deserve to feel your best in every decade. Okay, so we're talking about skincare here. And of course, skin is our largest organ. How do you feel like skincare plays into the bigger longevity conversation?
Well, I think first of all, you need to take care of your largest organ. I think that it shows the health, your overall health. You can tell if someone is healthy by looking at their skin, and it's important to take care of it. And why topicals are so good is your skin is not considered the priority organ when you're going through crisis. Think about it. I mean, my surgery, my skin was not the priority, and that's why I was just lathering this stuff on because I'm working on building a spine back, growing spine.
Mhm.
So I think it's really important that you take care of it because it is not, while it's an important organ, it's not the one that's getting, the top priority when you're not well, when you're stressed, when
Mhm.
you're going through things. It is not your skin. So it needs that help.
I'm thinking of a friend who recently had a prolonged flu. And she said to me when she came out of it, she said, "Thank God I was slathering myself with moisture. It was about the only thing I could do. So my skin isn't a complete train wreck." But she said, "Everything else is, but my skin doesn't look too bad." Because she said that was about the only thing I could do every day was put my skincare on.
Exactly. But it is important to take care of it because it is your most important, and it's your defense too. I mean, it's your defense
Yeah.
against thing.
Yeah, we're talking about it from an aesthetic point of view for sure for this conversation, but it serves a great purpose, part of our
Oh,
immune system, etc. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
which is so you mentioned stem cell stress, stem cell exhaustion. Can you talk about that a little bit, please?
That is, yes, that is when they actually. I wished I had Jordan, Dr. Plews, who I've learned so much from this year. Well, first of all, stem cell exhaustion is one of the hallmarks of aging, and that happens when your stem cells they can still read messages of healing, but they can't fire.
Respond.
They lose the
Okay.
ability to respond, to
Okay.
fire. And so exosomes come in and give them that signal so that they can use what they need for healing. I mean,
Oof.
and stem cell exhaustion is, menopause is absolutely one of the times that there can be stem cell exhaustion as you age. Disease, when you have a disease, your stem cells can't respond. And that's one of the things exosomes, they're just so wonderful because they go in and provide, top you off with what's needed.
Are you aware if exosomes are something that's being looked at for this might be a little bit out of your expertise, but just in case while you were doing the legwork for this product, are you aware if exosomes are being used for disease management internally? Does it work that way?
I do not know the answer to that. I'll just be real honest.
Okay.
I think it should be. I know stem
I
cell.
do too.
I think it should be. I know that, and this is controversial, but there are opportunities to have stem cells and exosomes injected. There
Mm.
are clinics that do that primarily outside of the United States, but people are finding help and help with disease and repair through having exosomes
Mm.
injected.
Well, and I know this is a fairly tightly regulated thing, and so it should be because the mesenchymal stem cells are the thing that everybody's concerned about. And outside of the United States, my understanding is that the regulations are a lot looser. So if you're
Right.
going to use a product that is either stem cell informed like an exosome or is a mesenchymal stem cell injection for knee pain or back pain or whatever, then make sure you're actually accessing it from ethical sources. But that's
Absolutely.
not is not relevant to the Vita product at all. It's as we've previously discussed. Okay, so let's come back to the exosome product because I'm very curious about how it came about. Like you said, the exosome. Like, tell us a little story about the creation of this product, how it came to be, as you've talked about a little bit, but just the story of it, please.
Well, as you know, we have the copper peptides, which and we have a 3% and a 2%, and we have products that support that. And we were looking at growth factors. We were looking at what's out there and really studying. And then when I thought, but I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I'm 70, and I thought I
Yeah.
want to really move the needle. I mean, I want the biggest thing that I can put in a bottle
Yes.
ethically and legally and all that that can move the needle and make everything I've already done work better. I mean, that's really what's behind it. And so we went for the big, and it took a lot longer and cost a lot more money and was a lot harder and probably will be more, it will be more challenging all the way through.
Mhm.
But I wanted the biggest thing that I could do that could help boost people and boost, their skin. That's the story. It's not
Well,
it's not like the crepey skin story with Dr. Faree, but we decided that was I could not find anything else that you could put in a bottle and
yes.
stabilize,
Okay.
put in a bottle that
Yes.
people can purchase and have in their bathroom. They don't even have to have it in the refrigerator. And that's the story. It's pretty.
Okay. Well, thank you for having a big, bold vision for the rest of us, right? I so appreciate that because it's amazing to me just how well the Exosomes product works. Tell me, what kinds of testimonials are you hearing back from women
Uh,
who have used the
I
product?
And we haven't, it's only been out a month. I mean, we've only been
Oh,
out. So I've had some people using lab samples, and
yes.
someone immediately talked about how their pores, they could feel their pores were just tightening.
Mm.
The texture of the skin, there's a rosiness to the skin. And then one that's really personally exciting to me is my little granddaughter has terrible eczema.
Mm.
And there's not a lot you can use. We use the squalene oil sometime with her, but everything stings, hurts, bothers, irritates. And this product, she's, oh, I don't know, Gigi, I don't know. And she took it and put it on and she said, oh, that feels really good. And
Mm.
so we made a deal that she was going to use it twice a day for a month. And her mother said she won't be without it, that she will put it in her backpack because it really is making a difference. It's soothing and calming. And eczema is such a hard thing to
Yes.
calm. And that's
Yes.
basically, I think, what it's doing. And so I can't wait till we get through her month and I take a look and, look at the before and afters, because there's nothing I would hope to create that would help more than seeing my grandchild suffer
Of
with
course.
kind of, and there's so many people with those, with
Yep.
eczema, rosacea, so many things. And I see this as a product that can calm and
Yes.
help those.
Yes. Well, you mentioned pores. That's one of those things that seems to change as we get older. What's happening there? Is that loss of collagen too?
Loss of collagen, just the thinning of the skin, the loss of collagen, things that, help that. And the exosomes, that's in the first four weeks, I think you'll see minimizing of your pores.
Yeah. Well, and as I said to you earlier in this conversation, like I was surprised how fast I could see a change. It was literally the second or third application. I'm
Oh, I
a pretty I need to see things fast, to be honest. I'm not very patient. Debbi,
and
so I'm not very patient. But I
that's
didn't
a
need to
really
be.
hard thing in this business, though, because these things are working. This is not like a quick fix. Although I love to hear people who say that it just made their skin feel good or the texture.
Mhm.
But this, you need 4 to 8 weeks to really start seeing things. And I want to set expectations.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
the way it works, this is going the depth of your skins deeper than a peptide and really changing things
Mm. Do we want to use it every day?
twice a day, at
Twice a
least at
day.
first. Morning and
Okay.
night, use it twice a day. When you're really trying to change something, then you can move to, a maintenance type. But
Mhm.
I twice a day. I
Okay.
And you do not need have it here. It's literally 2 pumps.
Okay.
You need one pump for your
Mhm.
face and one pump, for your neck area.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
then
the neck.
one of the things, always put it on your top of your hands. Whatever is left from your application, put on the top of your hands,
Mhm.
because that really shows the environment.
Age. I know.
I
I
not
know.
to say that, but
I know. I know. And I was
yes.
indelicate. I said, you taught us that last time you were here. And so I've been doing that with my copper and certainly with the with the
Vita.
Vita. Vita. Yes. See, I always want to say it wrong. With the Vita. And really noticed with the Vita on the back of my hands. Like just the skin is so much tighter, which is amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
I know I had such a good time with it, to be honest. And I'm a natural skeptic with things. And as the listeners of the show know, I vet everything that I talk about on the show. So if I don't like it, you don't hear about it from me. It's kind of how it goes, right? But I just genuinely love it when I've got a great product that I know other people will be interested in too. And I suspect my community, just as they have loved your copper serum, will adore this product even more. My God, the two of them together, whoo, Lord.
That's it. It's wonderful having both of them. It is.
Please tell me you have a succession plan so that when I'm 70 and you're not running the business anymore.
That is interesting. We have been talking to our daughter. She's 44, and we've started having those conversations. She's been using the products for 5 years too, and she tells me people ask her what she's had done, I mean, she's never had anything done. And she said, Mom, you won't believe they were just grilling me. She was out to dinner with these two friends. We know you've had something done. What have you done? What kind of, we want to know. And she said, it is my mom's products. It is.
Yeah.
So we're priming it. We're hoping she may be taking that.
Yes. Yes. Yes, please. If she needs a encouragement for me, I'm happy to say so. It's extraordinary. Well, I've enjoyed having you on the show again, and thank you for being an innovator of products and bringing us things that are really useful. Debbi, thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing and sharing what you do to help people.
Oh,
We're not
it's
in
my
this
pleasure.
alone. We're not in this alone.
No, and we were never meant to be. And now I get to do it looking firm as when I was 35, I'm hoping, without the extra chins.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Where can people find out more about the new product, the exosomes product, the serum, the 3% and 2% serum? Please tell us what we need to know.
Yes. Vitaliskincare.com.
Mhm.
And if they order and they use your lovely code, this is the
Yeah.
code love, LOVELY, then
Yes.
save 20% site wide on our
Yes. Which
website.
is so kind of you to do that. I so very much appreciate that. And I think, I'm not sure I've had the chance to tell you this. I did an Instagram video. Hopefully you saw it. It was the end of the year. And sometime after our last episode aired, I had a patient come into the office and it very excitedly telling me that she was using the copper serum, absolutely loved it, had canceled a bunch of dermatology appointments that she had scheduled for laser in particular, because she said the copper has made such a huge difference to my skin. I don't need those treatments anymore. And I mean, talk about a testimonial.
I love that. I love that.
Isn't that great?
It
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I know she'll be listening to this episode too. So I thank her for sharing her experience with me. And when I saw her last week, I let her know that your new product is the exosomes product is fantastic. So thank you for bringing it to life.
Absolutely.
So I have a final question I ask all my guests on the show, Debbi, and it goes like this. Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I probably answered one of the same ways. Okay, I was going to talk about the sun and not, be in the sun. I don't mean not at all, but not sit out and bake my skin in the sun. I would not do that. But I think I would learn, and I think about this as what I'm trying to do with these products. I think I would try to abide more than work hard on everything. I have my whole life, it's just been, in fact, it's probably why I had to have spine surgery because of all the things I overdid in the gym. I just felt like I had to do that. And this is something I've just learned because I had no choice, is how nice it is to just abide. Just, you don't have to just work. And so having products like this that you can just put on, you don't have to go burn your face off. I'm not saying anything about laser or strong acids, but we want to do something. We just feel like we've got to do something desperate. And this is just a little more gentle, natural. And so that's what I would say to myself at 20.
I think that's the wisdom of menopause rising up out of you and saying, sisters, if you're forcing it, no, we can do it gentler. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I love it. Debbi Barber from Vitalize Skincare. Thanks for coming on the show again.
So much, Fiona. I love it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. The information and other content provided in this show, or in any linked materials, is not intended and should not be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical expertise or treatment. We are doctors, but we aren't your doctor. Seek your doctor's opinion. If you or any other person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek other professional medical treatment. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have heard in this podcast or in any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The opinions and views expressed on this page and in this show have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, health practice, or other institution. Thank you.